Phil.
I'm Graham.
I'm Paul.
Weird, huh?
Seriously.
I usually go us. I didn't know what to do.
This is so weird. I'm on the other side.
Alright, today we have a quick episode. We have Sierra Nevada Torpedo.
It's an
It's an
O.
O. What? This is the female version.
Oh.
The extra
Colorado,
IPA.
so they say O's.
Colorado.
We have actually, this is cheating because we all have had this and we all pretty much like it.
Yeah, pretty much. Who drew the straw? Who's gotta hate it? Okay.
Because it's not Bud Light. Right, beer friends.
God, it's good.
Definitely extra IPA.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hop in there. You know what? We were talking about it last week. Where you can find that hops part where it's almost too much. And usually, like when you go into an extra IPA or a double IPA or something like that, you really get that you get that hops, the real sharp hops, and then it just peaks right over a little bit, and you're like, oh, and there's that little extra bit of hops that kind of like, like what was the one we did the other week where it was
West
the
Coast IPA.
the West Coast one, right, where it was like you only drink one of them. Maybe I could definitely do 2 or 3 of these at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like a 90-minute.
Yeah, it's definitely very
Something
good.
along those lines, or even 120-minute where it's too so sweet that they're so bitter that it's sweet.
Right.
Just don't quite hit that level. But
There's no ending hop kind of spike. There's that end bitterness that you find in a lot of the extra ones. This one caps right before that.
Yeah, it's very smooth, not overly bitter. That's
Yeah.
good.
I like the spice in it.
okay, alright.
And I'm out!
Uh,
We are here to talk about the future, not the past.
The only thing I have to say is, with IPAs in general, my own taste, I like more citrusy hops. These are a little bit just more of the straight bitter kind.
Right.
They don't really have any
Yeah, it claims it does, but I agree with you.
Well,
It says
I-
complex citrus, pine, and herbal.
Yeah, well, I can
character,
definitely taste the pine.
I don't
and
agree
the
with
herbs,
there's not
but
as
I don't
much
do the
citrus. Yeah.
I mean, a Bengali Tiger is more heavy on the citrus, whereas
Which-
this is heavier on the
Which of the hops it's using more? of?
Cascade, right?
Is it Cascade? I think it's the piney ones, right?
Mm.
Pretty sure.
I don't know. You lived there.
Tastes like
I would
forest,
say
yeah.
with the amount of pine trees that we have.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely piney, which I feel like is also the Sierra Nevada go-to taste is the pine. Although
Well,
they're
celebration.
quite an impressive brewery though. Beyond that,
Yeah.
but Pale Ale definitely has a bit of that.
Right.
This
Yeah.
being the
Celebration
Indie
very
Pale Ale.
piney.
Yep.
Obviously.
But yeah,
does
I mean it's
taste
good
like
though.
Christmas.
Do you want to
Yeah.
go with that?
If you're into that.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's again I would put this in the middle. Maybe take like the middle, maybe a little bit kind of on the lower edge, but not definitely the bottom of the middle.
Well, I don't understand what you're talking about. I think we talking fractions.
Yeah.
Oh right.
3 7/18.
Brilliant. 57/34.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
I know.
good.
That's over.
That's a 2.
That's a 2.
And then some. 2.5. Is that what it ranks out?
No, that would be
Multiply 34 times
72,
2 and see
It's
what
6.
you
It says
get.
1.5-ish.
Yeah.
32 54ths?
Remember, I did fail
Yes.
math to my father's
3-ish. Right around 3. Right?
Out of 5.
I'm gonna go back to Phil's. I think it's higher than the middle. I think above
Yeah,
average.
I
I
agree.
go above
Put
average.
just shade of orange.
Okay, we're terrorists right now.
This would be this would be a G in the Rojibin.
Child's
This
reading
plane
levels
wouldn't make it on a plane. if it was-
are as a 4th grader.
Yeah, I would rate this as
It's
a
actually
5th grade
decent.
reader.
It's pretty good out of 12. It's not bad.
It's only
I
12
would
grade.
probably say 7th grade.
He stopped reading at 12th grade. He hit that 12th grade and he was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Certainly stopped getting better.
Yeah.
Is that
Nobody's
when you
grading
found
me.
graphic novels?
Son of a bitch! I don't even need to read the words, I just guess.
I wish I didn't have kids that actually did.
Okay, this is going to turn into a teacher friend
Oh,
show,
no,
right?
yeah.
We gotta end this quick because it could go on.
I would give it somewhere high 7 out of 10.
See, I think that, it's hard to give it one number rating because in certain ways it excels, in other ways it doesn't as much. Like, we've
That
talked
would be
about
the average.
so many different scales to rate a beer, and I remember that one conversation we had about whether we would bring it to a party whether we bring it to a Christmas party, whether we bring it to a backyard barbecue.
Yeah.
Backyard barbecue, no. Regular party, yes. Christmas party, yes.
I'd definitely bring this to a family party.
Family
And
party,
I
yes.
passed one on me and my uncles.
When it warms up, we had to have this conversation too. When
That's
it warms
true.
up,
This is
And there's so many ways to think
summer.
about it. So I think that this is a great go-to beer. That's what I'd say.
Right.
If I see that on tap anywhere or in the six-pack in the store, not the greatest beer selection, this is the one I buy. Even more than Pale Ale, even more than
yeah.
I don't know.
some of the Magic Cats we had, or Sam
Yeah.
Adams Winter. I think this is. I mean, I honestly like twice a week I maybe get it. Just because it's.
Well, I would definitely drink this over any Sam Adams,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
But then on top of that, compared to other IPAs I've had, well, it's pretty mediocre.
Right,
But,
so
like,
it's not, well,
That's-
flavor-wise, like,
Yeah.
as an IPA, it's pretty good.
It is pretty
but hot, like intensity of flavor, it isn't dead, pretty much dead in the middle. I've definitely had IPAs that were less flavorful and almost flat, but like we said, that we can at least pick out 3 right off the top of our heads that definitely,
Beat it, right?
punch this one in.
But then we also have very different IPA tastes than what they're going for, and then that's another rating scale is what were they going for?
Right.
I mean, they were going for this.
Yeah, they were.
Sierra Nevada was going for this taste,
I think
this type
they
of IPA, and they.
I think they were going for something just a little
Well-
more than their normal IPA. I mean, they're not
Yeah.
looking. People
Right.
who are drinking Sierra Nevada aren't necessarily looking
Is
for.
there
I
an
don't think
actual
they-
IPA? I think this
yeah,
is the
I thought there
IPA.
was an IPA. I thought they had a
No.
regular IPA.
No,
This is
the
it.
only
No,
IPA
this
Is
is
that-
it? Does this have the pale ale then? Then they're just
Yeah,
going
it
for something for.
it was
just-
Celebration's
Pale Ale
the
Porter
closest you can get to
Stout,
it, yeah.
Extra IPA, Celebration Anniversary, Summerfest, ESB.
I think I just gave their pale ale to be credited as an IPA, which is a mistake.
Well, it uses those
And
Cascade
that's-
hops, and it comes out in that piney hoppiness that
It does. It's a good. It's
you
a
don't get a lot of other
good pale
pale
ale.
ales,
I like that pale ale more than.
Well, if you want to talk about, we were talking about generalities of flavor that Sam Adams has. I mean, Sierra Nevada's kind of skirting that if you think about it, especially when you're talking about the pine flavors with pale, with this, with Celebration, with that. I mean,
Well,
they've got at least 4 beers that taste similar. I'm not saying that they're
True.
approaching Sam Adams to the homogeny that they get through it.
But it'd be same thing. I mean,
I know, I agree with you.
There are other
Bling.
there are other breweries that do that.
Oh no, I'm just
Yeah,
saying, but then you take something like Magic Hat, not many of their beers taste.
Yeah, we
similar.
just had that conversation.
Yeah,
Sure.
well,
There's-
but that's what I'm saying, but comparatively.
Yeah, no, there.
Although I
everything
see-
has
I
a-
think, though,
that's
I
one
was saying to
defining
him-
flavor.
Right,
Magic Hat, I think, has the same unique malty sweetness to a lot of their beers. Now they have a wider variation
They have stronger
Um,
flavors per beer.
per beer,
Yeah.
but even like the Howl had a very malty sweetness.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna throw the Magic Hat number 9 in there because that's not quite
Well, we
sweet.
just don't talk about
But
it.
Yeah.
Wacky Cat, even their IPA, the Lucky Cat.
Lucky
Cat,
Cat.
which I have in my fridge right now, is more IPA-ish than this.
Yeah, but it also has another
But they-
malty sweetness that resembles
Oh,
Howl.
the
though.
Kiva? Oh god, that's just like. Oh,
Hey, here's some
my
more.
tonsils. Oh god.
When my
Fucking
fist
hippies.
hurts, I'm gonna
No, I totally agree. But yeah.
I think it's
So-
solid. I like it. I like it a lot, but I
I
don't
like it.
know if it's go-to
I
beer.
think the flavor
it's
is
great.
kind of. I think the flavor, like, cause one thing that we did in the last couple ones, we started when it gets warm, see how the flavor kind of what happens. The flavor
Rolls
is the same
out.
one. This one's kind of like mellowing out even more.
Yeah.
Like it's
Not
almost
sharp.
It is
almost
not.
losing flavor.
Yeah, but getting
Which
a little bit smoother though.
kind of alright. I kind of agree with you. It's a little easier. I mean, I don't think it's bad to drink, but it definitely reminds you that it's a IPA.
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
little.
it just kind of mellows out, and it's just kind of like okay, and then you forget long enough to be like, oh, I'll have another cracked.
Right.
Whoa.
Bam.
It's a little heavy if I'm gonna power through a 6-pack a night.
That's true.
That's not.
But he is.
not.
I mean, he is-
I'm gonna give this a straight 8.
So let me see. Does it make my girlfriend's pen? Totally.
She picked a horse.
Entry level.
Yeah, she's new.
This is like
Alright,
hung
it's-
all
it's,
over again.
So do you like the training wheels?
I end up dead in addition.
There's no reason to do
I rated a high 7 out of 10.
I like it. I like
I'll go
somewhere
5.5.
between- I have 6.
6.
Between 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Somewhere between.
I'm out, so I'm gonna rate that I need another one.
Alright.
Beer